Hey everybody, Preston with God's Ag. On this week's Agronomy Alert, we're out in the cornfield here by our office in Eckley, and today we're going to be talking about crop water use to maturity and growth staging our corn to determine how much water we have to go until maturity and how we manage that from here on out. So first things first, we're just going to go ahead and take a look at this ear. You can see here on the kernels, we are starting to get a few dents formed. So we're not quite to R5, but we are getting close. So right now we're ranging from milk to R5 as our growth stages. We will attach estimated water use to maturity to the video and post at a later date also. But from that milk growth stage, we're going to be somewhere around 7 inches of use to black layer. So keep that in mind as we're scheduling our water and our irrigation here through the rest of the year. If we're working on allocations or if we're bumping up against that water allotment, you keep that in mind so we're not cutting it too short, or if we have a certain amount to work with, we're spreading that out through the rest of maturity. So after you split an ear, like this one here, we're full dough and just about beginning dent here. So you can split that kernel in half, and if you can still pinch it like a zit and pop it, we're still in kind of that milk stage. If you pinch it and you don't get anything to pop out of it, you're going to be in dough, and that's R4. And then as you start to see dents form, that's going to move us to R5, full dent. And as we start to mature, you'll see that starch line progress from the cap of the kernel towards the middle, towards the tip of the kernel, towards the cob. And once we get to about 60 to 70% starch line, that's when we should have enough holding capacity in our soil to reach to maturity. So determining moisture and irrigation, we've had a few rain events here as of late. With rain events, especially like the ones we've had, we get our wetting cycle reset. So one thing to be cautious of here is not turning our pivots on too late. Sometimes what we get in the habit of is, hey, we got an inch of rain, we should be good for a little while. We're probing, we're paying attention. But when we think about it takes that sprinkler 48 hours to get around, are we in that window where the last part of the field being irrigated? Is there still enough available moisture there to keep the plant healthy and stress-free? So typically running a shorter, quicker pass after a rainfall, get our wetting pattern back in cycle, and then we can help keep that moisture stress from happening, keep those plants healthy. We are susceptible to tip back and things like that at this point in the season. So or affecting kernel weight if we're already past that tip back point of R3. So keep that in mind. Let's keep this crop healthy and stress-free here through the rest of the year. If you got any questions about irrigation management, or if we need to run sprinklers or anything like that, get a hold of any one of us at God's Ag and we'd be happy to answer. With that, thanks for tuning in to this week's Agronomy Alert.